Now, let's get super hard. And this is like hard exam kind of questions. Let's say I have three groups in my ring now. I have a CH3 methyl group, I have a nitro group, NO2, and then I have this ketone group, this methyl benzyl ketone. I know how to add each of those groups individually. How do I add them in such a way that the nitro is para to the methyl group and this ketone here is ortho to it? So first thing you need to do with any type of problem like this is write out how you would just add the individual reagents. So go ahead and get that out of the way, it's the easiest. So we can get our methyl group using Friedel-Crafts alkylation. And we can do the same thing in terms of getting our ketone group. So if we want to get our keto group, use that group. And for our nitro, it's H2SO4, HNO2, or HNO3. So we've got three possible reagents. The question is now, what order do we add them in? So to answer that question, we would need to sit back and say, okay, how do each of these groups direct? So we've got how the nitro group directs, which is meta, this directs meta, and this directs ortho-para. Is there a way we can arrange these to guarantee that we end up with the correct order? So to do this, we're just going to arbitrarily pick one. Let's say we start with the nitro reagent. So if we start with our nitro reagent and we form the nitrobenzene, everything that gets added from the nitro group is going to be meta. Now the only thing that is meta to the nitro here is going to be our ketone. So step one, if we're going to do this reaction path, the nitro group is the first step. The second step is going to have to be this keto group. Now how are they going to direct? So if our keto group ends up here, it's going to want to direct to this position, which I'll highlight in red. Oh, I'm sorry, it'll highlight to this position, and it will direct to this position because it is a meta director. So this is going to direct meta, this is going to direct meta. What we can see is that none of these positions represent the methyl group. So here, we eliminate the nitro group as the first step. What if we did the aldehyde group first, or the ketone group first? So if we did the ketone group first, this is also meta director, and the only group that is meta to the ketone here is the nitro. So our next step here is going to have to be to add the NO2, and the NO2 again is going to direct meta relative to itself. Again, we have a scenario where the only position that's actually favored by both of these is meta, and that's not where our methyl group is. What do we do next? Well, we only got one reagent left, and that's the methyl group. So let's say we do the methylation first. CH3. This is an ortho-meta-para director. And most likely what we're going to do is direct to the para position first. Don't bank on it being the ortho position because of steric hindrance. So the only thing that is para to the methyl group here is the NO2. So if we add the NO2, and we ask ourselves, okay, what does the NO2 do? Well, the NO2 here is a meta director, and relative to the NO2, the meta positions are these two groups. So whatever selection we get is going to put this reagent ortho to the methyl group. And so that works out. If we start with this reagent first, do the nitro, and then finish with our addition of a ketone, we'll get our product. So this is kind of how we're going to work through it. If you're asked to find more than one, if you're asked to direct it like three groups, and again, this is a very hard test problem, but it's a fair test problem. First thing, write out your reagents. Pick one. If you can see it, make an educated guess, but if not, arbitrarily pick one. Based on how it directs, ortho, meta, para, see if you find another group that matches up with it. Attach that one and start highlighting the carbons that each group would direct towards. Any that they share in common are where the next group is going to attach, and see if that reagent puts it in the correct place. If you do the sequence and it doesn't work, start a different reagent, work through the same process. And this is how you deal with it if you've got three groups and you're trying to use the directing groups to put them in the right positions.